Hi, it's Paul from Model Builder International. First thing, don't forget to hit the subscribe button down there, then you'll get notified of all future videos. Today we're going to have a look in the box at a new kit from Flyhawk. This is their M1A2 kit with the addition of the mine plough. So let's have a look at that. Okay, so let's see what we get in the box. Start with M1A2 SEP. The new bit is the mine clearing blade system, 1/72 scale, kit number 3301. It says down here photo etch included. So basically I'm expecting the same M1A2 as before, except with this extra mine clearing blade system on the front. Let's have a look at the box. And it's the same. What we do have on the back is just like 4 decal options, B, C, D, E. So I'm presuming A must be in the instructions somewhere. So that looks all desert sand colour. Interesting, in this box the art is vertical rather than the usual sideways. So we'll open this up, see what we get inside. Start off, let's look here. 2 sets of instructions. Now this one is the instructions. If you look at our review of the M1A2, just the tank on its own, basically this is the instructions of that. So what I'm going to do in this review is actually kind of go through the tank parts of it pretty quickly, and spend the time concentrating on the new piece in here, the mine clearing blade system. So if you want to sort of spend a bit more time looking at the tank stuff, go look at our videos and find the review for the tank itself, and there'll be tons of images there about that. So we get that. So this is the new bit, the blade system, and nice be clear. We'll go through these step by step. Basically 5, looks like 6 steps. Step 6 is fitting it to the tank. Colours called out in Mr. Hobby, Tamiya, AK Interactive, and obviously named as well. So there's some photo etch in here as well. And there's a FA, that'll be a 6th decal option on the back here as well, and instructions on the painting as well. So, interestingly, it's always going to be painted green by the looks of it, NATO green. So that's cool, we'll go with those. So we'll have a look at those in a minute. Photo etch, same photo etch for the tank. And then inside we have, let's have a look-see. Everything is bagged separately. There's the tracks. Interesting way to do them, sort of split halfways. So where's the new bits? This looks like new sprues, or a discussion of, it's been going on Facebook recently, these are new runners, I think is the correct phrase, but hey, we all call them sprues. So those are all new, and inside here, what have we got? These are new parts as well. I don't remember those in the... Oh no, these are part of the turret. So those are part of it. I'll quickly open these and we'll have a quick look at them. Okay, so I've taken most of the things out of the sprues, also out of the bags. Where there's 2 things inside a bag, you'll see a lot of things have got an elastic band around them to stop them rubbing against each other and leaving marks or damaging things. This sprue P is a completely new one, as is the Sprue Q as well. That's basically the blade system there. Everything else looks familiar from the build of the tank itself. So everything else is there. So what we'll do is we'll go through things step by step. We'll go quickly through the building of the tank because we've already got a longer video on that. So I'll go quickly through that, and I'll slow down when it comes to putting the blade together. But overall, it looks as though you could build, if you wanted to, you could just build the tank itself. One thing I haven't found yet is the Decals sheet. So let's have a look in the back here. We have, there's chain and cable, which I seem to remember is, yeah, iron chain and cable. It's part of this. And probably in here somewhere as well is the Decals sheet. Yep, there we go. There's a Decals sheet with one. Some of them are desert coloured. Same vehicles: 222, 322, 132. So basically, looks like 3 vehicles, which you can do in a couple of different ways with the sand coloured decals. So I'll go through this in more detail, and like I said, I'll quickly go through the tank and spend more time looking at the new parts in this box. But all in all, it should be pretty good. Flyhawk pay a lot of attention to detail. There's a few hundred parts here, but yeah, let's go have a closer look. So there's probably not much I need to say about the M1A2. This particular version, the M1A2 SEP, which stands for System Enhancement Package, and that's the latest version of the Abrams, and that 240 new built, and quite a lot were also upgraded to this latest standard. And as you can see, it also has a mine plough, and that is the variant that's covered in this review. As I mentioned, I'm going to quickly go through the actual building of the tank because it's exactly the same as the earlier review I did of just the tank itself. But what I'll do is go through and give you some hints about building this, since I'm in the process of building one of these. So, step 1. Other than the small parts, it's reasonably straightforward. When you add the spreader bars inside the hull, it does tend to spread the hull a little bit. One critical part I found is when you put these tracks on from the side, make sure you get them as far in as they'll go. They need to be absolutely snug up against the side of the hull and as far in as they'll go, otherwise you are going to have problems later. Other than that, straightforward step. Step 2, another reasonably straightforward one. Put the outer halves of the tracks on. When you fit the upper half of the hull with the sidewalls on, if you haven't got the tracks on far enough, that's where you're going to have a problem because the sidewalls won't fit over the tracks. So check for that before you actually get everything glued in place. That would be good. Other than that, fitting some photo etch. Some of the photo etch, one part has got a twist and a bend to it, so you need to glue it at one end and sort of work your way down gluing things. Other than that, another straightforward stage other than small pieces. Step 3, starting to work on the turret. The main cupola goes together easy. Just make sure you get things oriented correctly. And the clear parts, paint those before you fit them. One thing I've also discovered is the photo etch part PE9. It's actually easier to fit that afterwards. And in the instructions they have you fitting the main gun to the lower part of the turret before you join the top and bottom turrets. I found it easier to actually attach it to the top of the turret and then attach the lower half separately. Step 4 is pretty straightforward. Just make sure you get everything lined up, make sure all the bars connect to the ends connect to the things they need to connect to, but other than that it's a pretty straightforward stage. Step 5, putting things onto the turret. Again, reasonably straightforward. One thing that you might find easier is putting the baskets at the sides on before the smoke discharges to give you a bit more space. Other than that, pretty straightforward. And step 6, which is actually the step I haven't done yet in the one I'm building, but that's reasonably straightforward, just putting photo etch on. Might have a bit of fancy masking to do on those PE20 and PE21 plates that go on the side. Other than that, looks straightforward. Okay, so now onto the new sprues in the kit. Basically building the mine clearing blade system. It's about 40 odd parts just to make this. And in step 1, basically you're putting together the main visible part, the biggest parts of the system. Other than the small parts should go together, and the detail on these extra parts looks pretty good. The other steps seem reasonably straightforward. You start off in step 3, building what seems to be the part that actually attaches to the tank. Step 4, you putting the sub-assemblies you've already made, you attach those to the, I guess it would be called the carrier, and you also add in the chain and some pipe that's supplied. Oh, fine, this step it's just the chain. Step 5, you attach it to the tank, and they've given you some cable as well. There's a piece of cable goes on there. And so it's strangely step 6 is just a picture of the completed vehicle. There's nothing to actually do in step 6, which is neat. Now, painting and decals. Essentially looks like you have one decal option is using the mine plow. That's option F, which is on the extra sheet to build the mine plow. It's the same vehicle number as one of the non-plow ones. They give you a PE mask for doing the road wheels. Personally, I found it a little tricky to work with, so I did it without. But you can certainly give it a go. You've got 5 other options which don't use the plow as part of the regular kit. All the paints are called out in Mr. Hobby, Tamiya, AK Interactive, and they're named as well. There's not that many colours used. It's mostly the US OIF and OEF sand colour. So conclusion, the original battle tank that you're building, that's a pretty neat kit, nicely detailed, and most of the way through building one, so I can say it goes together quite nicely. You just got to pay attention to a few places to make sure things fit, and obviously there's small parts involved because the kit does have a lot of detail. And then adding this extra couple of sprues for the mine plow gives you another option for something that looks a bit different. So it's quite a nice kit, and I just added to it a little bit more. All in all, it's a very nice kit. I think people who've built them appreciate them. There's some good pictures out there of built models. So many thanks to Flyhawk for sending it along for us to have a look at.